Stop. I don't want to hear anymore.
Harrison Ford injured on set.
Oh.
Yeah. It wasn't him that shot first. It was Jar Jar. No, actually, it was the Millennium Falcon.
Man, that was a small demo.
Literally, last week he injured his ankle on the door of the Millennium Falcon during production. Now Ford will miss 8 weeks of filming. The actor's supposed to have a major role in the movie, but the movie takes like almost 9 months to shoot, give or take, or whatever. So, it happened. Everybody says, well, it happened in Iron Man 3 to Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. was in his 40s, probably 50 or so. Yeah. Harrison Ford is in his 70s. Now, doesn't mean J.J. Abrams can't work around this. Just...
If Jackie Chan could do it in the Rumble in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Not making Kessel run in 12 parsecs, are you?
And he doesn't get a nerd thing?
Huh?
Use the crutches, you won't.
Chewie was laughing. I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny.
I know it's funny, but
yeah.
Come on, nerd.
Nothing. I got nothing. No, didn't happen. That's specifically for Bradley.
At least
so with the whole Star Wars thing, I will say there's a new rumor coming out, but I'm not going to talk about it because it hasn't been confirmed yet.
Yeah. Man, these nerds are really
that have been confirmed. There's a new picture out there of the Jurassic World dinosaur. It's supposed to be like something that was. It's not like one of those crazy. You only see a picture of a shadow, or else I'd be really going more into depth of this. Mm-hmm. Has a lot of teeth, and it was tweeted out by the director of Jurassic World. There really isn't too much to say about that. He said it's just like one of the new creations of Jurassic World, and more to come on that.
The kind of like crossbreed style dinosaur.
Exactly, but it's not going to be like, we're putting a snakehead on a triceratops or something like that. They're not going for that. Right?
Sharknado World.
Shoot me now, really.
Number 2 coming out soon.
A shark mixed with a tiger.
Cut me in half like Darth Maul.
A sharger.
There is Bourne number 5, the untitled sequel to Bourne Legacy, has been pushed back until summer 2016. And Scooby-Doo is getting a reboot.
Jesus, Mary.
Now, I will leave you guys with... By the way, rest in peace there, Casey Kasem. He did the voice of Scooby-Doo. Shaggy.
Top 20 countdown.
Mm-hmm. I leave you with this to tie into the video games, and I want Bradley's opinion on this.
Uh-oh.
Resident Evil 6 news has come out. Tentatively titled Resident Evil: The Final Chapter.
Oh, the final one this time they're going to do, instead of the whole world's already messed up and they're living underwater or something.
See, I'm taking Bradley's news this time.
It's fine.
Paul W.S. Anderson said they're waiting on the first draft screenplay. There's no date set. Hopefully we'll have an announcement soon. It is planned as the last film. But my question is, what does Game Genie have to say about this?
How does these films still keep getting made?
Did you ever see any of them?
I saw 1, 2. Did I see 3? I can't remember.
I saw 1 through 5.
It's a rule of thumb that they just progressively get worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm like
the first one. The first one, it's like, okay, I see what you're doing. You're going to try and bring in the actual, lore of it, try to bring it in, but you can put your own twist on it. And that even got screwed up. You just had a nice visual look to it. Then the second one was like, all right, Raccoon City's getting messed up, but we're going to put our own twist on it and mess it up. Third one, you're just like, let's just throw stuff from the games and see if it works.
1, good. 2, okay. 3, WTF. 4 and 5, what did you smoke? So maybe number 6 might bring it to here?
I don't think so. I mean, trust me, even after playing Resident Evil 6, it's like, that was even abysmal as it was.
It could just be for the fact of anything Mila Jovovich is in, it's automatically hot. It's just, she's
so Fifth Element.
Does she ever do any other movies besides that?
The Fifth Element?
Oh, yeah.
She did Fifth Element.
Nobody remembers that.
Very good.
9 billion of those.
That was her best.
The Fourth Kind. That alien abduction kind of weird mock.
So she's a sci-fi chick or whatever.
Basically.
Ultraviolet as well. That was awful.
Ultraviolet, correct, yeah. A weird film.
So, Bradley, what's going on this week?
Well,
he doesn't have 7 pages of notes tonight there, James.
I know.
Whatever will we do?
Well, tying a little bit back to the news. Are you guys ready for some more Angry Birds?
What?
Well, we just found out that they're now got a new licensing agreement for their next game. Take a wild guess at what it's going to be.
Angry Birds Underwater.
Nope.
Are they going to go with an Avengers theme?
No, but close. It is a movie tie-in, shall we say, almost.
Angry Birds Spider-Man.
Hold on, I can do this. Angry Birds Batman Superman.
I wish, no. Well, we did Star Wars, but
yeah, you can't do Star Wars. We wrote out the Avengers. Can you give us hints?
It's a movie that's coming out this summer.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, you're looking for something good.
Angry Birds Transformers.
Correct.
Wow.
So yeah, next one in the series will be with that. Again, I forgot to get the release date, but I imagine
Transform
soon,
and flap out. Actually, I saw an Angry Bird right there. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it, but yep. Look for that in the future. Also, we found out that Skylanders, as much as that also prints money, is going to be extending the licensing deals to food, books, comics, and more as well. So I imagine they're going the same route as Angry Birds and basically whore that out as best they can. So, yeah. Skylanders, I mean, I don't know who decided to invent that, but whoever it is a genius, especially business marketing person. He's like, look, I got these little figurines for kids. Mm-hmm. You put them on this little pedestal, and they can also play the game. We'll sell the game, and then 50 billion figurines separately. We'll make print money. Genius, get in production. Oh, by the way, we got our next expansion. It's a bigger one, so I have to buy that one separately. Like, God damn it.
All right. How does Angry Birds make their money, though?
Angry Birds makes their money off of microtransactions. So you can play the game. You can play if you want to get the free version, play through up to a certain level, and then you can decide, oh, if I want to, I can buy more levels, and then go on from there. Or you can buy the whole thing itself and just give you the whole package.
And that one comes without any adverts.
Exactly. So they also make advertising revenue, kind of like how Flappy Bird was making money. So they run the ads on there, and then they make ad revenue.
I was always kind of curious how some of these games that are free are able to make money. Is it just because they put advertising?
Ad revenue mainly, because they know at a certain amount if they get so many downloads and how many people are playing at a certain time, how many ad revenue are you going to get it? You got so many users. They've calculated out all these, statistics and knowing how many clicks they're going to get per whatever so amount of views. Mm-hmm. They can even calculate if those clicks are legitimate or if they're just like someone's just hit it just because they feel like a nice person.
Okay.
So, yeah. So
I'm not going to buy it.
I know.
I'm not.
Well, Skylanders, the kids love it. I've never touched it.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't have the money to invest into it because, that's definitely geared towards kids and money sink. So, but I still hate that I didn't invent it myself. So, what can I say? But we did find out via interview with Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, that, of course, that Arkham Knight will be released this coming January. So right after
I'll give you a ding, but I'm also going to be
a little
hesitant. Nothing good happens in winter, Bradley. At least in the movie universe. Now, how about the video game universe?
In the video game universe, you're getting away, especially with the January. We've seen a lot of games starting to move away from the crowded holiday season because that's when your main games are put out. And that's a very make-or-break season because you already have your heavy hitters. You got your Call of Duties, your big name titles that you see at E3 as well. I'm sorry, Assassin's Creed, which is now a yearly franchise. I don't know why. Those are going to be put in there, and you're going up against those heavy hitters and those quote unquote AAA titles. And then if you're like a small indie guy, you may get lost amongst that. So a lot of people tend to move it away from there, give it a little bit more production, and get a better release date. So we're seeing a lot more move towards the January release time, just after the holidays. And for the most part, they actually have been working so far, surprisingly enough.
So it's like a hidden gem almost if you play your cards right.
Basically, if you time it right and see whatever your competition is at that point, you actually could get pretty good sales right there. So
and running in store with those gift cards and everything makes
exactly.
Sense.
If you have you get the gift cards right after the holidays, might as well. So
yeah, okay,
it doesn't hurt to, but as long as close we get to that, at least we know we're close to a release date. Definitely better, and can't wait for that. I know I've sent you the trailer, obviously, for Arkham Knight. You got a chance to see it.
definitely. We posted that before. We can post it again, definitely. Okay. Along with all the other, I think you sent me 6 to 7 trailers. That I
sent you 7 trailers. Night. Yeah, a lot of them did post up on there, and I hate that when I go to hit like on them because I was like, yeah, he posted them.
I was wondering who liked that. It's like the bantering Bohs like their own page.
Yeah, that's
Jesus
me. You can blame
son
me.
Son of a bitch. God.
So yeah,
now it all makes sense. I was like, I didn't do that.
Yeah, that was me. I thought it would come up as my name, but yeah, that's how I screw.
Did your father ever teach you never send a boy to do a man's job?
Sorry, what can I say?
Always bet on black.
Exactly.
Always bet on black.
You got it set up and ready to go.
Yeah. All right. Well, that I'm excited about that because I didn't want to have to wait till next summer or even next fall for this game to come out because. I'm honing in on that Xbox One, Bradley. I really am.
I mean, there's some good games. I mean, unfortunately, I did find out a little bit of sad news, especially mentioning Xbox One. The game I was definitely hyped about, especially last week, and still looking forward to it. Sunset Overdrive, we've just got confirmed that it's actually going to be running at 30 frames per second, unfortunately. Exactly. I'm like, are you kidding me? On your next-gen console, Xbox One, which is going to be exclusive for, you can't make that 60. You can only make the 30, especially for a game that's shown off to be very fluid, a very fast-paced game.
All right, and why is that? Why?
I'm guessing if they want to keep it, especially graphically wise, stunning as well, and just keep it so that there's not, issues, graphically and performance-wise. Performance being the main thing is why they do that. And of course, everybody, goes back to the question wondering, well, how does Call of Duty, make it so that they can run at 60 frames per second? I'm like, well, they also do a lot of tricks involved, and especially to make it so that it's able to run that. Case in point, their field of vision view, which is the view you see, on screen, your peripheral vision. Yeah. It's a lot smaller. It's around like 40 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And you'll notice that you won't notice that on TV. If you're sitting on a couch, you don't notice that. But if you're on like a computer screen, look at it, you get a little bit of tunnel vision, shall we say? So usually you want to be around, if you're on like a computer screen, right around 90. 90 is probably a good set. People actually can get headaches from sitting there watching a TV screen with like 40 FOV.
It's like getting a headache from 3D.
Basically the same thing. Gotcha. So unfortunately, sorry to see it's run at 30 frames per second, but I still am going to be looking forward to that game. And, of course, you can check us up on our Twitter and Facebook. We did post up the trailer for that, gameplay trailer of it, so take a look at that. We just found out that Polytron, this is the indie company who created Fez, funded by Phil Fish, who was also in Indie Game, the movie. As controversial as he was, so much in his past Twitter rampage they did, I believe last year or the year before. We just found out actually recently that he's up and running again, and that he will be now creating Polytron Partners, which is looking to help production and promotion of games, mainly like a lot of indie games coming up, and be working, to help promote them and stuff. But wants to mention that he's not going to be a publisher, even though that sounds like what a publisher would do.
Right.
So it's interesting that it's like, all right, cool that he's looking to promote it, since he basically, last time we heard of him was on his Twitter page saying, you know what, I've had it with this industry.
Sorry.
That's all right. And basically saying, I've had it with this industry, I'm tired of, and basically just acting, just going on a entire rampage, and basically said, I'm out, I'm taking my money, and I'm running.
You blow it!
But now that he's coming back and saying, hey, I'm going to help out guys and create video games, maybe we might see Fez 2 actually reemerge again. Who knows, but Phil Fish is a weird individual, a little bit of a drama queen, shall we say, when it comes. We've seen that especially on Twitter, but Fez is a really good game, and it's sad to see, especially if you ever get to see the independent film Indie Game the movie. You can see like this is a guy who's trying to put his heart and soul into something, and you can tell he just overstresses himself a lot, especially and takes criticism a little too much, unfortunately, a little too much to heart. So,
man up,
basically. So, yeah, you Canadians, seriously, good to see you back, and we'd like to see Fez too, but, yeah. So, and I do want to touch on a little bit of points, especially with going back to E3, little things that we found out in there, a little bit of controversial things. One thing that came up was in an interview with the developers of Assassin's Creed Unity, there was the point brought up, especially looking at the co-op players that were asking around about, well, we see them all being male characters. Will we be able to, change the characters set for the co-op, or were they all going to be, we have the option to customize or maybe play as a female character? And the developers pretty much said, well, they're pretty much just going to be the male characters that we have right there, no customizations. And basically it's kind of, the co-op players are basically a clone of the main character, which seems a little weird, but again, when asked, why didn't you think of creating, maybe like a female character for those out there? And they're like, well, that would take about, a couple hundred hours of art assets and money to make up, to do it from scratch and make that up. So we're like, that kind of sucks. But then they went and talked to, I cannot remember the name, I'm sorry to say, I think it was over at Epic Games, and another developer from another company asked them, and they said, no, that would actually probably take a day's worth of